Hi everyone, Mariposa here. It's a Monday evening and there's a cold front coming in to South Texas, and I wanted to dish up something really quick for my husband and I to eat this evening. And this again is a quick and easy recipe. It's just a little chicken caldo, which is just chicken soup. But it's got all the classic flavors, you know. It's got some ground cumin, comino, garlic, some cilantro, tomato sauce, onions, you know, the great classics as far as my recipes are concerned. Anyway, it's going to be a quick, simple, easy recipe that you can do when you get home from work. And this is why I wanted to show it to you. So these are my lovely ingredients right here. And we're going to go ahead and get started. Next time you see me, everything will be prepped and ready to go. Hey everyone. So I showed you kind of a little intro with what we're going to do with the chicken caldo. I've chopped everything up. I've got things ready to go, but I just wanted to give you all a little quick, insight into what's going on with us. So we're finally having our own Mariposa's Kitchen channel. We had a viewer ask us why when we look up your videos, it's under somebody else's name, which is my husband's name. And he says, why don't y'all have your own channel? And we were like, why don't we have our own channel? So we kind of started Mariposa's Kitchen channel. So if those of you that are watching right now, this is going to be one of the very first videos on that channel. There's already a kind of like an intro video on there. We would appreciate it if you would subscribe. My husband will post this video onto our regular feed, and then it'll be on the new Mariposa's Kitchen. So anyway, just FYI, I would appreciate it, and I will continue posting videos there. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So I'm making a quick chicken caldo, and you might say in the evenings there's no way there's time for soup. You know what? This is really quick, easy soup, which is so savory, so flavorful, and it's so super easy. So it's a little bit of Chardonnay we're having there. Anyway, so what I have here is some calabaza and some yellow onion, calabaza or squash. And I'm going to go ahead and put them into a tablespoon of manteca. Of course, you can always use vegetable oil, olive oil, coconut oil, whatever you want. My ingredient of choice is, of course, manteca, as most of y'all know. It's not bad for you like some of you may think. And it really adds to the flavor. And again, this is not something that I use every single day. So, I'm going to go ahead and put that in there. And what I'll do is, this is just to help to bring out the flavors of these veggies, the onions, the squash. It's just add a little bit of salt here. If you want to ask how much, I'm adding about a teaspoon of salt. This is again just to help bring the flavors out. Grab one of my spoons here, and I just want to give it a quick little toss here. I want to give it some love in my pan. And, you know, anytime you cook with onion, yellow onion, whatever, it just adds such a homey feeling to your cooking. And I just love it. And anytime when my kids were growing up, I would put manteca and just put a handful of onion in the pan. They would come out and go, oh my gosh, what are you cooking? Because it's just wonderful. So I've got this kind of just kind of giving it a little bit of, I don't know, you want to say a little bit of a roast, a little bit of a tan. All right. So I'm just going to let this simmer here for a second while I prep my other ingredients here real quick. And that garlic, ¿dónde está? Okay, so as you can see, I'm kind of tossing this around. I've been tossing it for about a minute and a half now. And we don't need to cook this too much because it's going to cook in our liquid. So what I'm about to do, and again, I want you to know it's really simple. So So I'm going to add 5 cups of water with a teaspoon of ground cumin, 2 teaspoons of garlic. You can use garlic powder, you can use ground cumin powder because it's an evening after work. You want to make this easy. If you want to ground it up in your molcajete, feel free to do the same. Again, if you're going to ground it up, it's a little over a teaspoon of fresh cumin, and then of course about 4 cloves of garlic. Okay, I'm using the ground stuff because it just makes it easier tonight because I've had a long day at work today. So I'm stirring this up. My pan is nice and hot, and I'm going to go ahead and add this in. Just that. This has been kind of cooking. You want to cook it. If you want to see how long, until your onions just vaguely clear, okay? As you can see right there. It's just starting to reach its kind of opaqueness. I'm going to add this, and you're going to hear it. It's going to sound and smell wonderful. Lovely. Lovely. Okay, so we've got that. And then I've got thawed chicken drumettes, bone in, 2 pounds worth. So I'm just going to add this in. Yep, just straight in there. Again, this is a really quick, nice, delicious chicken soup. Gonna put this in here. We're gonna let this cook and simmer for 20 minutes. Yes, 20 minutes, but we'll have an interruption in the middle. So while I've added that, I'm going to cover it, and once it reaches that boil, I'm going to let it simmer for a little while longer. Again, this is going to be a total cooking time of 20 minutes, which is on average the best time for you to cook or poach your chicken. And if you ask why aren't you using chicken broth, you can totally use chicken broth if you want. I have a hard time estimating the salt content, so I have total control this way. And, you know, my rule of thumb is always a teaspoon of salt per pound of meat. So I've used about 2 teaspoons of salt. You did see me salt the veggies earlier. That's separate. I still added 2 teaspoons of salt. If you feel like it's too high of a salt content for you, you can always skip salting your veggies in the beginning. I don't recommend it because it kind of takes away from the flavor, but totally I understand the health concerns and all of that. So we're going to cover this. And I'm going to let it reach a nice simmer boil. And then once it does that, I'm going to monitor it for about 20 minutes. But like I said, this is going to be a little quick interruption because we're going to add a little something in the middle. Okay, so I had this simmering for a good 10 minutes. And since I took the lid off, it's now simmered down a bit. I guess that's kind of where they get that phrase from. I'm not really sure. Anyway, I've added 2 cups of frozen corn. I think frozen corn tastes fresher, but you can use whatever you want. If you want to use little corn on the cobs and cut them into maybe 1-inch slices, like about that wide, you can do that too. But I like to add some corn just because it's so simple and easy, and it just adds another dimension of flavor. And I'm adding 8 ounces of pasta. It is a little soup after all. So I'm going to add this in. It smells so wonderful in here. And again, because this recipe is so easy. So I've added corn, I've added pasta. And what I'm going to do is add one last ingredient. I am adding, fresh from my garden, a handful of cilantro. And I haven't shown you the progress of our garden because of daylight savings time. I'm going to go there and bring that. Anyway, it's lovely. So we've got cilantro, we've got the squash, we've got our chicken, we've got corn. We added 8 ounces of pasta. And now I'm going to put the lid back on, and I'm going to go ahead and let it simmer at the same temperature for another 10 minutes, okay? So we'll come back in 10 minutes and let's see what we've got. I hope it's good. I'm just kidding. And it is time. I'm going to go ahead and turn this down just in case. And I am going to remove the lid. I always wish y'all were here with me. I wish I could have like a cooking thing where everybody came to my house and we just cooked and ate and had a wonderful time. We know that can't happen, but this is it. Come take a look, honey. Show them. This is the soup. It's so easy. And again, you know, it's not necessarily exactly 20 minutes because you have to add ingredients, but the pasta is cooked. The chicken is cooked. You know, because I use these little drummettes with the bone in, adds so much flavor to this thing. It's so lovely. I wish you could smell it. It smells so good. Options. An option is to add about 3 or 4 slices of good American cheese, and it'll give it a nice creamy flavor. I'm not going to do that tonight because I'm actually looking for this. I've done this before though, where I add some like 4 slices of American cheese, and it gives it just this wonderful creamy flavor that, I don't know, maybe I will add it. But this is ready. It's good to go. I'm going to, I want to take some out, but it's so hot. I'm going to get a little bit of the broth out. Because at the same time, I need to know that it's good, right? I haven't tasted it yet. And I want to make sure that everything I tell you, you know, is on the money. It's on... I know I giggle every time I try something, but it's so delicious, and again, so easy. Please try this. Give it a chance. It's simple, it's fresh, it's delicious, it's savory, and it's cooking with love. And that's what I love to do. Thank y'all so much for watching. This is again a simple chicken drumette sopa. Love to cook and cook with love. Until next time, my friends.